You want to use the calculator whenever possible when you're taking the STAAR test this coming May. Here are 4 scenarios that we're going to go through, and hopefully it'll help you recognize that when you see these scenarios, automatically pick up your calculator and try to solve it. First scenario, if you see a table of values, more than likely it's going to ask you to create some type of equation or ask you for the slope or the y-intercept if it's linear or something to that effect. So what you want to do is you want to press the stat key, press enter the x values into L1, the y values into L2, then press stat again, use the right arrow to arrow over to calc, press 4 if it's linear, 5 if it's quadratic, and 7 if it's an exponential situation. After that, you'll either see a menu or you'll see some type of line item. Either way, you're going to press enter either until you hit calculate or until you see your equation containing the slope and the y-intercept and whatever information that you're looking for. Make sure you read the problem to see what the actual question is asking you to find. The second scenario involves equations. Usually in the question or in the problem, you will see either y equals an expression, f of x equals an expression, or possibly g of x equals an expression. It doesn't really matter. It's any singular variable equals an expression involving a different variable or another variable. You want to use the calculator and press y equals. Once you press y equals, enter the expression, and normally you're either going to, if the answer choices are graphs, then you're just simply going to press the graph button and compare the graphs to see which one matches. If it's asking you for an x value or a y value when x is something or an x value when y is something else, then you're going to go to the table, which involves pressing second, the blue second key, and then graph, and that'll take you to your table. And you'll scroll through up and down looking at your answer choices as your guide, and you'll try to find and locate the match there as well. All right, guys, the next scenario is called solving one variable equations. And so what that means is that there's only one variable in the whole equation, even if the variable is located on both sides of the equal sign. It may be in 2 different locations, but it's still just one variable in the total equation. So you can use y equals to help you out on the calculator. So what you want to do is you want to press y equals first, then put the left side of the equal sign into y1, put the right side of the equal sign into y2. Then you want to press graph. You want to press graph because you want to see that when the calculator graphs these 2 lines, that they actually intersect within the window of the calculator. If they don't intersect within the window of the calculator, you will receive an error when you try to solve it using second trace 5. Enter, enter, enter. So before we do that, we want to graph, make sure that the intersection happens in the window. If it does not adjust your x min, x max, y min, y max, could be all 4, could be just 1 or 2, just depending. You have to kind of feel it out and see where your lines are and see, does it need to go up more? Does it need to go down more? Does it need to go to the left more? Does it need to go to the right more? How do I get to see this intersection? That's the main thing. Once you get your window set, then you're going to press second, trace the number 5, enter, enter, enter. That's enter 3 times. So second, trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. And your answer will be the x value that is the result of that, not the y value. All right, last but not least, we want to look at an example where we can use the calculator to find equivalent expressions. For example, which of the following expressions is equivalent to 2x plus 5 times the quantity of x minus 4? And so what we would do is we would grab our calculator, press y equals, and we're going to put the expression that's in the question into y1, and then we're going to put our answer choices one at a time into y2. For example, I would put 2x plus 5 times the quantity of x minus 4 into y1, press enter, and then in y2, I would put 5x minus 4. That's my first answer choice. Then I would press second graph to view the table. I'm going to compare y1 and y2, those columns, and I'm going to see if they're identically equal. So every number should be exactly the same. If not, I know I have the wrong answer. So I'm going to go back to y equals. I'm going to keep y1 the same, but y2 I'm going to change to the next answer choice, which is 7x minus 20. Once I enter that into y2, I'm going to press second graph again, and I'm going to compare y1 and y2 to see if they're equal. If not, I'm going to proceed to the next answer choice, and so forth and so on until I see and find identical columns y1 and y2.